Over the next 3 videos in the next 3 days, we are going to be looking at a passage not from Scripture, but from words by a Stoic philosopher from the 1st century AD. His name was Seneca, and he was contemporary of Paul and possibly could have met Paul, as both lived in Rome during the 60s, during the reign of Nero. But one thing that he wrote, while he wasn't a Christian, was that he wrote to a friend talking about progress in wisdom. Why is it that people don't make greater progress toward becoming wise people in how they live their lives? And I think that that question can be very applicable even for us today as Christians. And I really want us to dig into it. And he gives us 3 reasons. He says here, why does foolishness have such a tight hold on us? We could even ask for ourselves, why does sin have such a tight hold on us? He writes, first, because we do not resist courageously. We do not work toward healing with all our strength. This makes me think about us as Christians as well. Why is it that sin has such a tight hold on us? Part of it is because we are not trying very hard. There are some people who do try very hard. But if we think about how many hours a day do you spend trying to combat sin and trying to become more like Christ, and I mean intentionally spending that time doing it, we probably don't spend near as much effort as we could, and we probably are not near as consistent, even if we do put forth that effort. And so it makes me think about how often we try to do so many different things at once that our discipleship, our time following Christ, gets put on the back burner, gets placed as unimportant. And he even says a little later, how can anyone learn an amount sufficient to combat his vices or sins if he learns only in the spare time left over from cultivating those vices? If we are so busy off doing other things that we cannot cultivate virtue, cannot cultivate a Christ-like disposition, and are not seeking out healing from God, how are we able to even go about it? How should we expect that for our lives? Jesus said to us in Matthew 6 and verse 24, we can only serve one master. You cannot serve 2 masters, for either you will be loyal to the one and despise the other, or hate the one and love the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. And while that's talking about wealth in that context, it's so true that we often try to serve so many different masters during our lives. And I hope today that this is an encouragement to you, that you will put forth as much effort as you possibly can in striving courageously toward that goal of being like Christ. I want us to put forth a wholehearted effort where we wake up thinking about it, go to bed thinking about it. Whenever we are in our office, we daydream about it. I hope that it will consume our hearts, that we will be excited to go on this journey once again after we've taken so much of a break and become so distracted. Please take courage and be willing to be different, willing to stand out, and willing to look strange to others in your wholehearted commitment to being like Christ.